Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is sizzling hot in New York right now, so I felt very inspired by vacation, beach, sunshine, and I thought I would put together a video not of my entire sunglasses collection, but of the sunglasses that I truly reach for on a regular basis, which is still kind of embarrassing because I have 11 pairs that I'm going to share with you. So I clearly love sunglasses, and I have some really special pairs that are quite unique, a lot of really cool ones from Jimmy Choo that have different embellishments and stuff on them, but I'm not going to talk about those except for one pair of Jimmy Choos in this video. These are more of like your standard, simple, everyday kind of sunglasses. Of course, there are different shapes and different styles. I'm going to go through like my Aviators, my vintage Celines, and I'm actually going to talk about a really special pair that I didn't think I was going to love as much as I did. It is a special pair of Raybans that I'm going to get to at the very end. So yeah, let's jump right in because we have a lot to cover. I'm going to bring you closer. Nope, not bring you darker, bring you closer. Hold on. So I'm first going to get into my favorite sunglasses of all time. Like, this is my number one favorite pair. And this is a pair of Celine glasses. I want to call them vintage. I don't know if they actually are old enough to technically be vintage because they are Celine glasses during the Phoebe Philo era. And so probably, you know, circa 2013, 2015. But I think it's because these glasses are like a hybrid of an Aviator and just different enough. I honestly don't know why I'm so drawn to these glasses, but they stay on my face really well. They cover just enough so that, you know, they're doing their actual job, what sunglasses are supposed to do, which is shield my eyes from the sun. I love that they're black. I love that they don't say Celine on them. They just have like the old school. I mean, that was really the best part, right, about the Phoebe Philo old school Celine sunglasses is like the really minimal branding. I just think they're like really understated, but they look good on my face. And yeah, so these are probably my favorite sunglasses of all time that I wear the most in my collection. And if I ever lost them, I would be so incredibly sad and depressed. But yeah, let me know if you remember these from that time because I do. I just love. And because I loved them so much, I actually ended up getting them in this tortoiseshell color. However, this was later because the Celines, these Celines actually, like I said, don't have anything that says Celine on the side of the glasses. So they're like old Celine. And while these are still from the Phoebe Philo era, they do say Celine on one side of them. So there is that little difference. I mean, it's still like really subtle, so it's fine, but I did want a pair that was in another colorway. These are in a tortoiseshell. Bizarrely, I think I just need to tighten them more. I think because I got them off of the RealReal that I need to screw them on my face more. They don't fit quite as tightly and therefore they're just not quite as comfortable, but I do love the fact, because I love my black ones, that I now have them in this tortoiseshell colorway. And sadly, I used to have a pair of kind of Ray-Ban-esque glasses from Celine that I also got off of the RealReal that used to be half and half. So like half black, half tortoiseshell. If I can find a photo, I'll insert it here. But when I moved from California back to New York, they disappeared. I lost them in the move. I have no idea where they were, and which was very sad because those were actually my favorite sunglasses at the time. So, but this style is the exact same style with this kind of like Aviator wire situation here, but then the kind of Ray-Ban-esque full glasses here. They're just great. So yeah, I picked these up for when I was in Puerto Escondido for my wedding because I just, you know, liked using my wedding as an excuse to buy stuff. So and yeah, you're starting to sense a pattern. I don't think I've ever actually purchased Celine glasses from Celine, mostly because I love the ones from the Phoebe Philo era, hence like these. And so I prefer to actually just buy them off of the RealReal, but also it's from like a cost perspective. If you buy Celine sunglasses, they're like $500. And if you get them off the RealReal, they're like $200 sometimes they're also still quite expensive on the RealReal depending on what kind of style you're looking for, but in general it's a much better deal. These are some other glasses that I was kind of hoping I would wear more than I do, but I ended up picking these up actually at the same time that I got these. So I got these in the last couple of years. And these are Celine from the Hetty era, so Eddie Slimane. And you can tell that because there's no accent on the Celine there, but they're still very like cool girl. They're very sleek. I think my issue with these is that they're quite large. They're a little bit larger than I thought they would. And I think because this part is, you know, covered in, unlike these where it's missing, I feel like it just makes my forehead look a little bit bigger. So I think that's why I don't wear them. I mean, I have a big forehead. There's no hiding that. But like, I just feel like it makes my forehead look larger than it actually is. So while I wanted a really like sleek kind of Ray-Ban-esque pair of vintage Celines, I don't know. And I also need to also tighten these to my face because these are quite wide and they're not as secure as my other ones, but I have a very tiny little screwdriver set where I can do that. I just need to actually sit down and make the time and do it. And yeah, I think these were also probably around $200. So those are my Celines, and those are definitely my favorite when I'm just like running out of the house and need a pair of sunglasses. And I think those are personally the most flattering on my face in terms of like a classic shape. However, similar with shoes, I know I've been putting out a lot of shoes videos recently. I think sunglasses are a really great way to like play with trends. And so I have been having a lot of fun experimenting with kind of different sunglass styles. Actually, you know what? Let me get into the Aviators first because they're still more classic, and then I'll get into my more trendy ones. Let's do that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't actually think you can still get any of these still, but these are also favorites of mine as I've gone through the years. These are probably some of the oldest sunglasses that I own, in addition to these, which are super, super old. Let me go in for it. So I couldn't even tell you. I think I got these, which you're probably noticing these are very similar to these. I really clearly love that like aviator kind of shape, but with still more of like a square lens. And these I really, really love. These I love. They're one of my only pairs of black and silver glasses. So they have this cool like leather outside as well. I'm obsessed with. I just think it's such a cool detailing. But I randomly came across these on the RealReal probably almost 10 years ago now at this point. I got these off of the RealReal, and these are Rag & Bone. I've never ever purchased Rag & Bone sunglasses after that, but I'm obsessed with these. So if they're anything like these, then they make great sunglasses. I will say I love Rag & Bone jeans. I love getting Rag & Bone jeans secondhand also off of the RealReal, or just like thrift stores in general, because you can get them for like $20, $30 and it's really high quality denim. But I just think there's something really cool and like rock and roll about the shape around like the leather that's kind of around the side of it. I just think these are really cool. I really, really love that kind of like aviator style of glasses. And kind of similarly, I picked up these off of the RealReal. These are the Row, and these are a collaboration that they did with Oliver Peoples. I wish the Row would actually do more sunglasses because I think obviously everything they design is absolutely incredible. And so I love Oliver Peoples, I love the Row, and so put them together and you get magic. And I love an aviator, so I really love these glasses. These are like super polarized, so I actually can't even see the camera cutaway right now because they're very polarized, but I loved that they're a little bit bigger, you know, again, that very like kind of rock and roll, very 70s, like very Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. And I really love these as well. I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes having a super polarized lens actually bothers me because of things like looking at a camera screen, or it can just, yeah, it's a little challenging sometimes, even though it's like really good for your eyes, obviously. These I think were on the more expensive side because I think retail wise they were like $600 or $700 maybe, and I ended up getting them I think for around $300. But of course it's the Row and Oliver Peoples, which are both very premium kind of sunglass or just brands in general. So yeah, but these are great aviators, a little bit larger than the previous ones, the Rag and Bone ones. And then you've got the gold, and these are almost like a purple blue kind of frame, which is nice because I don't really have a color lens like that. And then the final Aviator-esque, this one's a totally different shape, but it's still kind of a fun aviator. And I actually just saw some on Quince that are really similar to this. They just don't have, the thing about that's so fun about these is the real detailing. So these are Jimmy Choo. And these have this really gorgeous, fun little stars on the side, which normally I'm really not into embellishment. I like to keep things pretty simple, but the stars are so subtle. And then you also have this like double band at the top, which is really fun. Also, you're gonna love seeing the reflection of like all the stuff we have. We're getting puppies soon, and all the puppy stuff is like stacked in the corner of this room. So that's what you're looking at. But I just think these are so great. I wore these for years. These were like my #1 glasses that I reached for. And I honestly still love the, I love how they're not completely round aviators, but they have kind of a funky like octagon shape. And that's what really drew me to the Quince ones that I'll leave linked below that are similar to this, because it's such a unique shape of aviator that I was just like very, very into it. I really, really liked it. And I love these. I still love these actually, but yeah, love a good aviator, love a good kind of thicker Wayfarer look to it. Those I think are the two kind of classic styles that I tend to just really, really go for. But like I said, I've been experimenting, and it all started when I went to Sweden last year and I got these glasses, which were that very like, also my ears are crooked. Do you guys have that problem where your stuff gets crooked because your ears, one ear is like higher than the other? Just me? All right. But I got these at House of Dagmar, which thank God I did, because I actually just checked recently if you can get these, and they said they weren't available in the United States. So these were, if you were to buy them in the United States, they definitely would be on the pricier side. They would be $250. Thankfully, I bought them in Sweden, so they were much less, but I love the like 2000s kind of alien shape of these. I know this is very, very trendy right now, but I really, really like it. I also love that these are tortoiseshell. So they're kind of like a tortoiseshell black, which is great. So they're really versatile if I want to wear this with like navies and creams and browns. And like, I love wearing these like on the weekends when we're just kind of going out and about and I want to look cool. Like these are just a fun, cool, trendy sunglass. Yeah. I just love the detailing on this. I think they also made them in black and stuff, but this like very subtle, I think because a tortoiseshell is more traditional, I think, again, mixing that traditionalness with a non-traditional shape like this is really, really fun. So I've had a lot of fun with these, and because I loved these so, so, so much, I ended up picking up these other ones from Quince, which, where did they go? Oh my God, I'm sitting on them. Awesome. I got these from Quince, and these, like all things from Quince, these are really great quality and a really good price point. These were like $40, I think, maybe $50. I think, oh, if you buy multiple pairs, then you can get each for $40 instead of $50. But I loved how similar these were in shape, but I love that these are all black. So all black wire. They're also super polarized, so they're really good if the sun is like super, super bright outside. I also love an eyeglass like this if you're out. I don't tan much, obviously. Can't you tell? I'm so tan. I like never see the light of day. I do sit out sometimes, but I usually sit out under an umbrella or something. But if I was trying, or I try to cover my face, I'll say. Sometimes it will tan my legs, but I try to cover my face because I am trying to look young as long as possible. And so if I was to want to tan my face, then these glasses would be great for that, because then you don't get huge like sunglass marks. But anyway, if I would have looked closely on the website when I bought these, I would have also bought them in that more traditional kind of gold and green look, similar to something like this, because I love that pairing as well. But these have been my go-tos recently just because they're new, and I don't, what is that about getting something like new and exciting that you just want to wear it more than everything else? But these have been really fun. I also love just how like super lightweight these are. So they're really comfortable to wear for like long periods of time, walking around the city. It's really nice and easy to like throw them in your purse. These are a lot slimmer and lighter than like a chunkier sunglass like this. So if you have a smaller bag, it is nice to have. And these would be so great for vacation because I do have like little kind of vacation sunglasses for the beach or something like that, because I wouldn't want to go into the ocean with designer sunglasses, but these are like very to the face and I don't think they would fall off. Even if a wave came or something, I could just grab them and it would be fine. So I think these are just really great kind of all around. And I kind of love that they don't have any branding like on them whatsoever. Very similar to the House of Dagmar. They're just like, well, they do say Dagmar, like really small on the side there, but like that is so subtle. You can like barely see that. So love, love, love the minimal branding. So yeah, that kind of like, I probably won't get any more sunglasses like this. I think having 2 pairs of this is enough just because they are super trendy. And I don't think it's like the most flattering for my face. I still think this more square look is more flattering. So this is what I will tend to go for long term, but it is really fun to play around with like new shapes and makes me feel cool with the, you know, cool trends out there. So then the final 2, these are really out there. Not out there, but these I picked up in a sample sale actually. These are Saint Laurent and these feel so out of the matrix. They're so crazy, but so fun. These are playing with kind of that cat eye trend that has been really popular. Again, I think I got these for around $200. And these might be my only pair of Saint Laurent glasses. I love Saint Laurent, don't get me wrong. I just have been such a Celine sunglass slut my whole life that I just haven't ventured into the Saint Laurent, but I do love the simplicity of Saint Laurent glasses. I love the quality. These are absolutely beautiful. And again, these are like a tortoiseshell. I don't know if you can tell that. And I love the little edges. I love that like you can't even barely see the Saint Laurent. It's like engraved in the side. It's not like it's even like embossed on there, which is cool. So like very subtle branding, which is fun, but I just love how fun and funky these are. I love wearing this when I'm just like wanting to walk around New York and again, kind of have that cool, fun weekender vibe, or just like make a more traditional outfit look a little more funky. Like sunglasses are such an easy way to just look cooler, honestly. If you're going to invest in like one cool thing, sunglasses are it. Like I absolutely love it. Oh, they're so cool and so fun. So yeah, these are the Saint Laurent ones. If I can find the style and if you can still get these, I will leave those linked in down below. But if not, I'll try to leave something similar. But again, because I get most things sample sale or secondhand or something, a lot of these are pretty old and you can't get your hands on them. But yeah, I do think actually though the next pair you can still get, because this brand I just bought it off of Instagram, which is quite funny because it's actually still one of my favorite pairs. Kind of similar to when I don't want to wear these Celines because of the gold. If I want to wear, back in the day, if I want to wear something similar but with no gold or anything on it, I would go for these. And while these are not the most utilitarian in terms of actually covering your eyes, as you can see, you can definitely still see my eyes. They give more of kind of a gold tone to things. They're a good glass to wear out when it's maybe not super, super sunny outside. But I think the shape of these is really cool. Again, they have that fun like aviator look to them that I really love. And these are from a brand called Vela, and it's the Dixie VS254. Again, I'll leave that linked below if it's still available. I think it is though, because I check back every couple years to see if they still make them, and I'm always like tempted to get these in a different color. I think they make them in like a cool like burgundy color, which would be really fun for fall. But yeah, Yeah, these are, other than my Quince ones, and the House of Dagmar is more designer as well, but in Rag and Bone, these are like probably my more like mid-tier non-designer sunglasses that I'll go for. But in general, when you can get designer glasses secondhand, it's great, and I'd highly recommend doing that. Or if you want a great just pair of like high quality vacation sunglasses, I love mine from Quince. So yeah, this was fun. This was kind of fun to walk through. Oh, and then the final pair. Oh my gosh, you guys. I left it to the end to make it be like a big ba-bum, and then I almost forgot them. Okay, let's get to them. You've probably started picking up on a trend. Like I said, my absolute favorite sunglasses of all time are these from Celine, which are kind of like a Wayfarer. So it made perfect sense that I would get the Ray-Ban Wayfarers, but I actually got the ones that are integrated with Meta. So this is actually a charging case, which is crazy. So they look completely like regular, also not sponsored. I totally just got these and I love them. I got them for my trip to Japan because frankly, I wanted them to be able to, I'll go through kind of my favorite ways to use these glasses, but I got them because I wanted to be able to translate things. Like you can stare at a sign and say like, hey Meta, like, can you translate this? And it'll translate for you. However, Japanese is not one of the supported languages, so I would definitely check what languages are supported and what aren't. But the thing that I'm obsessed with these on is that A, they're just the beautiful traditional Wayfarer. They're not the matte black. They do come in a variety of colors, but I got like just a standard kind of glossy kind of, it's trying to talk to me as I'm touching it. The Wayfarer one, but I love that they look exactly like just Ray-Ban glasses. Like you can't even like tell, unless you were really looking for the cameras, you would never know that these were integrated glasses, which I'm obsessed with. So in general, I knew that these were useful. I know that you can take video with them. I know that you can take photos with them. I knew that you could like talk to Meta or whatever, which is fine in its own fine way. But the coolest thing that I love, actually the most underrated thing and why I love these so much is I actually use these as my headphones. Oh my God. Hey Meta, stop. I literally just started playing the new Addison Rae album through here. It was so loud. I don't know if you could hear that, but I love listening to podcasts. I love listening to music. It makes earbuds feel so antiquated once you're wearing these outside because you're not obviously having to put anything in your ear and no one else can hear it, which I think is like the craziest thing. So I absolutely love wearing them around the city because I already would be wearing sunglasses anyway, and being able to just listen to podcasts, listen to music while I'm walking. Again, something I already do on a regular basis. I'm obsessed with. So that was like such an underrated feature, and it's by far my absolute favorite thing about them. Of course, the other thing that I love is you can take photo and you can take video. So you can do voice commands. So you can be like, hey Meta, take a photo. And I'll try to show you close up so you can see. I'd be like, hey Meta, take a video. So you see that tiny little light on the far right? I'll try to include some videos here so you guys can see some of the videos, because actually they shoot 4K video. Hey Meta, stop video. And the video quality is so good. It goes straight into your phone. It goes into the Meta app first, and then it ends up flowing over into your photo library, which is great. I took so much video. It's such a like chill, easy way to take video, to take photos. Like I'm so bad about taking photos. My husband is the king of taking photos, thank God, because if he didn't, we would never have any memories of anything ever. And these made it so nice and easy actually for me to take pictures of him, because when we would be out, I would just be like, I did not like the voice commands as much because I felt like they were clunky sometimes, especially when there was like background noise. So I actually preferred to just manually take the photo, or like manually click on the video. So I could just look at him and I would look like I was just adjusting my glasses, and then I could take all these photos, and that was really fun. So I loved it for that. It's so much faster and easier to do a quick click, click, click than to like pull your phone out and pull up the camera and do that. So like, I just love how seamless they are with all of the things that I would like to do on a regular basis. The other thing that I loved is they're so great for like, I'm really shy about taking photos of things or videos of things. Not that anyone cares, but like, you know, there was this really cool donut place and I'm the last person to want to like, which I know is probably weird because like I'm taking videos right now and putting them on the internet, but it's different when it's like in the comfort of my home. When I'm out and about, I'm not like, oh, let me film these donuts and then like shove my phone in someone's face. So when I have this, I could literally just be like adjusting my glasses and then really subtly just like capture like my coffee and the donuts and like all the different things. So I love these. And of course they have capabilities, which were really fun when we were on vacation, to be like, hey, like tell me the context about this shrine, like the backstory, like why is this? So like it is really cool as kind of being a tour guide. In fact, I think I really want to get my prescription put in here and have transition lenses so I can have them for the inside and the outside. I don't really need, I'm like a -7.5, and so sometimes I wear contacts, but I don't really need glasses. But I can just imagine like being in the Met, for example, and then like walking around and being like, hey Meta, like tell me about, I mean the Mona Lisa's not in the Met, but you know what I mean, like a famous artwork that you pick and just be like, tell me about Sargent and why he was the most famous portrait artist of his time, for example. A great exhibit that was recently at the Met. So anyway, so I did just want to share these because
about the famous artwork.
Oh my God, stop Meta. The funny thing is if you are new to my channel, I work in tech as my full-time job. So I am a big techie. I love like nerdy kind of stuff like this. You probably have noticed I wear the Aura ring a lot. Maybe I need to do a video about the Aura ring because I do absolutely love that. So I really love when you can like blend technology into your life and especially into your fashion life. So I did not want to leave these out of this video because these have been such a fun, cool thing to have. And I also think they look really good. So wanted to end on that one because I think it's kind of a fun surprise that people may not expect. I honestly didn't expect it. And my husband had them for a couple of years and I never wore them, tried them, borrowed them, thought nothing of them. And then he got them for me and I was like, these are my favorite thing ever. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video and I hope you're having a great, safe, and happy summer, and I'll see you all in my next one.